if Arsenal do persist and go ahead with this, I will not be able to support the club anymore. I will not be supporting them in the Super League. I won't watch the games. I won't subscribe to the TV company that's going to screen them. I won't even look at the results because I'm not interested. Well, it's Monday morning and I thought I'll be doing a video on yesterday's very disappointing draw at home to Fulham, another really poor performance in the Premier League. Unfortunately, other events elsewhere have meant that I'm not going to bother with a match review on Fulham at all. Instead, we're going to talk about the absolute joke that is the European Super League. This is over and over and over again. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again. I'm going to have to change the name of it. There's no way I can call this the Positive Arsenal channel after the news broke last night that Arsenal are one of the 12 founding members of the European Super League. Of course, at the moment, they're saying that they want to still compete in the Premier League and all the domestic competitions as well. But the reality is that's unlikely to be able to happen because the Premier League will no doubt kick the 6 clubs out, and all that will be left will be a European Super League with no relegations and nothing really to play for. The whole thing is just about money, and it's not really the Arsenal that we all grew up with. And Arsenal have been a massive part of my life for nearly 45 years. I've been going to games since 1981, so this actually would be the 40th year of my first ever match at Highbury, and it's all coming to an end. There's no way I will support Arsenal if this European Super League goes ahead and we're in it. And even if we remain in the Premier League, obviously what would happen is it would be an under-23 side would play in the Premier League anyway, and the main first team would be in the lucrative European Super League. It's just a complete and utter joke, and unfortunately money has taken over. I think we've seen in the last year that football clubs and TV companies and everybody else has realised actually fans in the stadium aren't that important. TV companies in particular have made more money from the fact that they can now screen every single game, and advertising revenue would have gone through the roof. And of course the clubs themselves have still made money. They're not really that bothered, are they, about 60,000 seats in the stadium when they've got the TV rights worldwide. That's always been the case anyway. I just think that's come into even more focus in the last year. Now, it's easy for Arsenal to turn around and say that they're blaming the COVID pandemic, the money that they've lost, and wanting to recoup that in this way through this Super League. It's been mentioned about a breakaway European Super League now for quite a number of years. It's nothing to do with the COVID pandemic. Maybe that's just pushed it forward a little bit quicker. Even if it doesn't end up going ahead now for whatever reason, if the fact that Premier League clubs are going to ban the big 6, if you like, from breaking away, and it doesn't go ahead, the fact that Arsenal were so seriously involved in this has left a massive stain, which I'm not really sure we'll ever get back. One of the things that always attracted me to Arsenal was the fact that the club had great traditions and great history, you know, Highbury, the Marble Halls, all that kind of stuff. And I always felt as though the club really cared about their fans and the local community. But what's become obvious over recent years is that the club just don't care. It's not the same club that it was when I first fell in love with it. And unfortunately, the reality is that I'm not sure how much longer I can carry on my support of the club in these circumstances. I say whatever happens now, whether or not this goes ahead or in the end it doesn't go ahead, the stain that's been left is going to be very difficult to remove, not just from Arsenal, but the other 5 clubs as well. I don't think this has really been thought through very well, has it? They've just announced it, you know, very late of an evening on a Sunday, and the backlash has come very, very quickly, hasn't it? Obviously, Gary Neville yesterday on Sky made some very interesting points, didn't he? And this is going to be an ongoing issue now. It's going to dominate the rest of this season and obviously beyond. Of course, where does that leave us now in the Europa League semi-final? If we're going to be in this breakaway European League next season, doesn't matter if we win the competition or not. I've just heard news that Arsenal have pulled out of the European Club Association, which means that we're probably not going to be able to compete in the Europa League anyway now this season. So the final will probably be Villarreal against Roma, and that'll be that. Makes the whole season a complete waste of time. You know, we got excited, didn't we, on Thursday night with that great performance away in Slavia Prague, and it was all for nothing. And even if we can remain in a competition this season, even if we beat Villarreal and win the cup, it doesn't mean anything because we're going to not be in the Champions League next season anyway, because we'll be in the European Super League. It's just, diminished everything that we've loved about football. Now, yesterday, watching that game against Fulham, I realised how detached I've become from football. I'm sure we would all have been delighted with a 96-minute equaliser in a game. Yes, it was against Fulham at home, a team we should have beaten. But even so, a 96-minute equaliser is still an exciting moment as a football fan when you see your club score that late in a game. But I didn't even care. I'd lost interest in that game. I've lost interest in a lot of football. I thought the VAR stuff yesterday in that game was the final straw, but actually I was wrong. I could have probably just about coped with that. I think we've got used to how VAR's changed the game, but this now has been the straw that's broken the camel's back, this European Super League. It's not for me. If Arsenal do persist and go ahead with this, I will not be able to support the club anymore. I will not be supporting them in the Super League. I won't watch the games. I won't subscribe to the TV company that's going to screen them. I won't even look at the results because I'm not interested. Being a football fan is all about your bread and butter league, isn't it? You're playing Leeds twice a season, you're playing Newcastle twice a season, or Bournemouth, whoever happens to be good enough to have got promoted into the Premier League. They're the team that you play week in, week out. The European football, it's a nice bonus to have. It's nice to play against different clubs sometimes, visit different countries and all that kind of stuff. And it's an extra bonus on top. It's not more important than your domestic bread and butter games every weekend. Since the start of the Premier League, it's changed quite a lot anyway, hasn't it, with the TV, moving the kickoffs and everything like that. But at least you still had your 38 games home and away against all your local rivals, all the clubs from your country, your league. And that's what it's always been about, the away days up north or wherever it is. You know, that's what football's about as a football fan. And that's just going to be taken away. And it's nothing without that. It's an absolute disgrace from Arsenal. And I say, even if it so turns out in the end that this doesn't go ahead and the clubs pull out of the Super League because of the other restrictions that's going to be thrown on them domestically, that I say that the fact that Arsenal have been a part of this and have announced that they're one of the 12 founding members is an irreversible damage that they've done, not just to me personally, but I believe to millions of other Arsenal fans. And unfortunately, they don't care, because if all the fans in England don't renew their season tickets, and then they'll just sell them on to people that will buy them, of which there'll be thousands and thousands that will, and they don't care anyway because of the TV money that they're going to be getting coming in, and the billions of pounds from the European Super League funded by the elites who are basically funding everything anyway. So yes, I believe that April 2021 has seen the death of Arsenal, and I think it's seen the death of English football. It's a very sad time, a very sad day. It feels almost like it did back in 1989 after the Hillsborough disaster, when I think there was a lot of uncertainty whether football would continue, and there was a very good reason why for that particular occasion, wasn't there? There was reasons why maybe football shouldn't have continued. In the end, we got through that and football changed. But this is something completely different. This is just run by greed. Nobody cares about the fans. Nobody cares about what football should mean, and no one cares about the football pyramid lower down the scale. So for me, if this is going ahead, I will be supporting a local grassroots club, a club that actually cares about the fans and appreciates the support of people that come to watch their club. That is where I'll go. I say after nearly 45 years of supporting Arsenal, it will end, and it will be sad, but ultimately life moves on, doesn't it? And if Arsenal are going to go ahead with this, my life, like life of millions of other people, will have to move on in a different direction. So not the video I wanted to be doing today. I'd much rather talk about a very poor performance and draw against Fulham, if I'm totally honest, but that seems quite irrelevant at this moment in time. So that's a few quick thoughts there on the situation going on at the moment with the European Super League. Obviously, more and more stuff's going to come out about this in the next few days and few weeks, and I will probably do more videos about that. I'll have to see what I'm going to do with this channel actually if all this goes ahead, because I might just focus on the Arsenal women, but of course the women's game is also going to be forming a Super League as well, aren't they, by all accounts eventually. So I'm not even sure if that's going to work. Maybe I'll have to start a channel, I say, from our local grassroots club and do that instead. I'll have to see. But yeah, certainly we'll have to see what the future holds. It's very uncertain at the moment, but if all this goes ahead, it will be, as it says in the top of the screen there, RIP Arsenal. After, for me, nearly 45 years, and it's a sad time. And let's just hope that eventually everybody sees sense. But as I said, it will be a stain that's going to be very, very hard to remove from the club. So thanks for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts on all of this. I'm assuming you don't support the idea of a European Super League, but if you do, please let me know why, what your reasons are as well, because it's good to get all sides of the argument, isn't it? If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. You can see the little button in the corner there as well. I want to keep the channel going, but I might have to completely change the content over the next year or so, depending on how things go. But stay tuned, because I will be obviously doing a lot more stuff on this over the next few days and few weeks. We'll have to see what's happening about the game on Friday against Everton. I'm assuming the game will go ahead unless Arsenal been kicked out of the Premier League by then, but I will do a preview of that, and I'll try to keep some normal content on the channel for the rest of this week for now, and then we'll see what happens in the future. But obviously this is going to be something that's going to change everything, isn't it? And unfortunately the channel will have to reflect that. But thanks for watching, thanks for your support. I will try and keep some content going, certainly over the next few weeks anyway. And in the meantime, of course, as always, come on you Gunners. Sad times.